my stash flash for 2020/2021. This is a lace weight. It's very small. It's probably the smallest section I have. Some non-superwash fingering weight. It's mostly all Knit Picks palette, and this is Knit Picks Capretta, the fingering weight with cashmere. This next section right here is sport weight, and I'm pretty happy with the size of it. I've got some good variety. I've got a couple projects planned, but it's not overwhelming. This next one up here is yarns that are either hand spun, like all of these up here are hand spun by me. Those are hand spun, so is this. And a couple of the others are yarns that could appear hand spun, like the Woolberry ones or the fully spun yarn where they're sent to a mill and they're milled intentionally to look like hand spun. This section up here is bulky weight, which is also pretty small because I'm destashing a bunch of it. And so this is all at Haynes House Yarn. This is all indie dyed, a little bit of Knit Picks, a little bit of like acrylic blends. So sections are starting to get bigger now. Over here, this is the top portion right here. This is all Aran weight until you get to the dishcloth cotton. And then the rest of it is worsted weight. So some of it's an acrylic blend. Some of it, this is indie dyed down here, Malabrigo, 2 sweater quantities, some dishcloth cotton, like I said before. So yeah, that's Aran weight to worsted. The next section down here is DK. So again, it's a lot of indie dyed. Most of this is indie dyed yarn because that's where my taste runs to, except this whole bottom row. This is all Knit Picks and over there. And a couple of Karen cakes up in the top, obviously. And then this is where the vast majority of my stash lies. This is fingering weight yarn. It is mostly sock yarn with the exception of a couple of these, like the slubby yarns, or that bright green one is a single ply. I've got some mini skeins, some store yarns up over there. These are the ones that I've already caked up. More mini skeins over here. And then these 2 aisles right here are mostly yarns that I dyed, and they just sort of went into my stash when I stopped selling yarn that I dyed. Some self-striping yarn, some sock sets right here that have the mini skein for heels, toes, and cuffs. And yeah, that's about it. There it is. So my goal for 2021 is to work as much from stash as possible. And I am hoping that by the end of the year, quantitatively, if not these exact yarns, I will get probably about that much eliminated. That is my goal. So that way the stash will be more like this size by the end of 2021. But we shall see. And the last bit that I forgot to show you is these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags here are all acrylic yarn that is getting donated or passed on. And this bucket down here is my wool for spinning. I opted not to pull all of this out because, oh, I was going to say because it's pretty well organized. Well, it was pretty well organized. Apparently my kids got into it. But this is just, you know, a bunch of braids, sweater's worth of roll legs. So, yep, it's my stash.